All right, part 4. We got 34 minutes. So part 3 is uploading right now. Like I was saying though, so I do find it really ironic that these people want to be a part of this hateful like environment, but then you're shocked when the environment backfires on you. Because that's one thing I learned. Like there is a such thing as not being white enough. And so you might find acceptance, but when there's no one left to go after, the tables will be turned on you. So just because the white racist society accepts you for a moment doesn't mean that it's going to always accept you. And I learned that one a long time ago. There are certain people, as long as you spout those ideas, you're okay for that moment. But when there's nobody left to pick on, it's coming back to you. Get my chapstick. I'm getting dry lips. It's dry here. Still not as dry as the desert. Everybody's like, it's drier than the desert in Colorado. No, it's not. I lived in the desert for like 40 years. And I'm not talking about like fake deserts. I'm talking about real deserts, like Mojave Desert, Death Valley, even Reno, but that's a high desert. And then we used to play in the deserts of Arizona and Texas. There. I might have to get a little bit more coffee. Just a little bit more. So, but like I was saying, so I just don't agree with a system either way that says either side is more superior because of their color, because that's not true. You can experience different treatment from your skin color. I've noticed that. I'm trying to do my little Keurig. It's really kind of, the other day I didn't know what to call it. It's haze. When I talk about stuff in the air, it sounds so crazy, but it's haze. But it's like that. It's just a little, yeah, you can see it. It's not fun. Yeah, I was looking, yeah, Colorado still, we have some of the worst air quality here. It's bad. I was hoping that would have changed. I had difficulties breathing here when I was little. Like a lot of difficulties, a lot. Hospitalization difficulties. And I did notice when I moved to sea level or closer to it, like the desert, and then California. Well, California's not a good example. If you're talking about like LA area, that's not a good example. There's a lot of smog and haze there. But I did notice also when I was in Hawaii, I did not have as many breathing problems at all. And it was weird because I barely touched my inhaler at all while I was in Hawaii. And then on the flight home, once we got to LAX, oh, it was awful. It was I totally understood then what the issue is, because the minute they depressurize the plane and they open those doors and that LA air came in the plane, my lungs seized up immediately before I walked off the plane. Immediately. It was crazy. Steve was like, "Oh my God." The whole time in Hawaii, 2 weeks. Didn't even have to touch my inhaler. I don't know. The same in the desert. Like, I didn't need as much. Allergy medicines, nothing. And I even went through a couple periods of years where I didn't need an inhaler. So I don't know. I gotta put you guys down. Get my pour my little coffee. What's what we're gonna do? Yeah, and I stopped buying the K-cups a long time ago. Now the problem is though, you used to not have to have, you could the Keurigs used to work with any basket that was round like this. So you didn't have to have this part. And then what they did is they made it so those universal baskets don't fit into the Keurigs anymore. And it has to have this bump on it. And that's all it is this little bump right here pushes in on this little part. So if you don't have a basket with this bump on it, I think you can just pull this forward and secure it and it would work. But I'll show you guys. Then there's this little part here and it pushes it forward. That's all that thing does. That little plastic bump pushes this forward. So if you just put a basket, you can't get a basket. Just the old like universal baskets, they don't work anymore. So then we're going to do this without spilling the coffee everywhere. Okay, ready? We're going to try to get this little cap back on. Okay, it is now in the locked position. Now check this out. This little piece of plastic. Watch that. Watch. Watch. Oh, just pushes that forward. So that's all it does. Let's just push this forward. And then we're going to go here. So now you have to actually buy a Keurig K-cup. And we're going to go with, no, I don't want to. See, and then what was weird too. So I counter such weird stuff. So some guy was yelling, because we were talking about coffee makers. And I was telling, like, my Keurig does something, and the guy screamed at me, "That's impossible." It does not. And I'm like, no, mine makes froth. So we're going to go, see, froth. Like, it was very strange. It was really weird. And I get a lot of that weirdness, and I don't understand it. So we're going to go back to 2. We're going to go down to 12. We're going to do strong. Oh, some water for that. No, so I'll have a conversation with somebody and then it's weird. Like somebody will come out of nowhere and start screaming at me that I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm just like, So what had happened was, it was just really weird because the guy, I just didn't understand why he was doing it. We had replaced these coffee makers here. It was working when I was working for the gas station. We'd replaced the coffee makers with a system that's more like the Keurig, but it's not. It retains the beans on top. It grinds them fresh. But the delivery system of the coffee is pretty much like a Keurig on steroids. And when you brew it that way, you get all the oils, and it does froth up the oils when the cup is full, or when you get your coffee. So it looks like there's like froth on the top, but it looks just like my Keurig does. It's just not as thick. But you get these little frothy bubbles, and a lot of people would freak out because they thought it was cream. And I'm like, no, that's just the oils and the pressure through the machine. And so I was telling that to a customer, and I told him it's just kind of like my Keurig. And this other guy who has nothing to do with the conversation started pretty much getting really aggressive and screaming at me, like that I didn't know what I was talking about. Keurigs don't do that. He has a Keurig. And I'm just like going, I don't know, dude. Mine makes froth, and it even has a button for froth. So if I push that froth button, that's what happens is I get those oils on top. It's very strange. And and this happens a lot. It's not, yeah, it's very weird. I was talking to my neighbor across the street because you guys have seen in my photos. So I've been trying to grow columbines since I got here. I've gotten quite a few up. I was talking to the neighbors across the way, and I mentioned the flower columbine. I didn't have flowers. I wasn't like pointing at the daffodil. Like I was just telling her like, "Oh yeah, my columbines are coming up." All of a sudden, the lady snapped at me across the street. Those aren't columbines. I was just like, "What? What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Do I have to go over to my yard, pick out a columbine, and show it to you?" I'm like, "What the?" So apparently, this woman thought maybe I didn't know what a columbine looked like. And so she thought I was maybe talking about another flower. It was very weird. And rather than just accepting that my columbines had come up, it was very strange. Let's see. Now we can do this. Okay. All right. Now we're getting there. Oh, I added water. See, froth. Step one. I don't want to froth right now, though. Proof that I have froth on my Keurig. Okay, so we're going to do 12. There we go. And this Keurig's pretty old, too. It's not that new. We bought a couple of them. We bought one for my mother-in-law, which she never used. Because I thought it would be perfect for my mother-in-law. Like, that way she could just brew, like, 1 cup or whatever she wants to do of hot water. She could do tea. She had her way, and I just had to do it her way for her, which I was fine. I did it. I thought it would be easier on her, though, when I wasn't there. So she liked she would just do microwave. So she wanted her cup, she wanted her hot water, and she didn't drink coffee. She would drink instant. And so I would just make that way. I was like, but it's so easy with a Keurig. She wouldn't use it. How we devolved from haze into Keurig. Oh, because and then I just find it curious, like there's actually more than one person that's been upset with me because my cat is having babies everywhere. And my cat's been spayed since she was 3 months old. Like, now that stopped now that my cat doesn't go outside. And my cat's upset about it, but I don't know what to do. Because obviously, her being out there was really frustrating people, and I don't want somebody to hurt her. So, and I don't understand why you would get so frustrated over a spayed cat, but people do. So I started to worry about her, and now she's sad because I can't let her outside here. Because I don't know what my neighbors are going to do. I don't know. They're crazy. Number one. Okay, so got the coffee. Now we can start talking about racism again. All right. So I know this topic is not going to cause any problems on my Facebook at all. I'm just asking anybody, if you are watching the videos, if you are commenting, just please be respectful. If you can't be respectful on my page, I will figure out a way to remove you. I welcome productive dialogue. If there's something you don't agree with that I said, please share that, but please keep it respectful. If you view something differently, share that as well, but please keep it respectful. I personally don't believe, just because of, how do I explain it? Just because I feel something is correct doesn't always necessarily mean that that's the only way to describe it. I can see how a lot of times when people are arguing, we are actually arguing about the same thing. We're just calling it different things or thinking somehow it's different. I hear my dog tamping around. I think she's done. I got, Doji, my phone's gonna die. I got power issues now. Hold on, we gotta go get the Yorkie out of the tub. She's prancing. So she got this from the cat. The cat only likes to drink from running water sources. That's it. Just running water. So the cat usually would get into the bathtub because she wants you to turn on the faucet so she can drink. She got the dogs doing it. And I have a fancy water fountain for Diogi. See, filtered and everything. No. They still want the bathtub water. Okay, so we're done doing that. Now she lost my train of thought again. My little Yorkie. Huh. The cat. So, I was asking you to be respectful of everybody's views on here. I was expressing how I find them usually similar, but we got to make them different. I got to plug my phone back in. Here we go. I think we're 2% right now. So, but this is my fast charger, so it should work. I see a tendency to feel like if somebody doesn't believe like you, that means you got to make things harder on them until they just agree. That's not correct either. Like I said, there's certain things that I will never accept. I can't accept them. There's ideas that, and they're not healthy ideas. They're all ideas about separating myself from everybody else, or my separating because you have a different religion, because you have a different way of thinking. It has nothing to do with your character, it has nothing to do with what you have accomplished or not accomplished. It's just the simple fact of you don't believe in the same belief system. But I don't know what to tell everybody because, like I said, I've been to a bunch of different churches here. And none of them accept the other one. So I just don't know. So I choose not to focus on a religion. I do consider myself to be more spiritual. I do not, how do I explain it? I give existence to your white God. That's fine. The one single white God, okay, but I know there's other things. So I'm willing to let somebody sit in that belief. I'm not asking you to not believe in your God. I'm not asking that. I'm not asking even for you to worship with me or pray with me or whatever it is. I'm just asking for people to be respectful. That's it. But that's the devil's talk. um, I don't know. What I worry about is us devolving quickly, because that's the rhetoric. We're going to be devolving quickly into witch hunts. If you're not Christian enough, or you don't go to the right Christian, I mean, this is well documented history. Protestants and the Catholics. What? Well, you're the one who got yourself wet. She's whining because she's wet right now. Her face is all soaked, and her little feet, because she cannot drink without submerging herself in it. I don't know. Um, Hell, I'm not even saying you can't have your church. I'm just saying I don't want to be a part of it. You can go worship in your church and do whatever you need to do, but I'm just not going to be there. I don't know. So we have a bunch of issues. It's not just a simple topic of racism. I know I tried to explain this to somebody. Everybody was afraid and still afraid of CRT in our elementary school. Well, I don't know what to tell you guys. If my kids are taking CRT in elementary school, that means they're geniuses. Do you guys understand that? Those are college courses. I, I don't know. Okay. I'd be proud of my child taking college courses in elementary school. Critical race theory. So, yeah, and it's just like there's problems within our religious institutions, our government institutions. Um, and like I said, a lot of this is designed to keep us bickering. So, and so you can't hear the other person's message. It's totally what this is intended for. But we keep on buying into it. So, anyways, I'm going to give this topic a rest. I've went over a lot of different things. I'm hoping I didn't confuse anybody, or you can keep up with my logic, because it is scattered. Um, if I have any more thoughts on it, we'll talk about it. Like I said, if you'd like to comment, or you're welcome to, just keep it respectful. And if you can't keep it respectful, then I will keep it respectful for all of us. All right. You guys have a good day, and I got to figure out what I'm doing. Bye.